You won't believe what just went down. Carlos King, the media mogul behind Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is in some serious hot water right now as reality stars have begun turning on him, and the drama is unfolding faster than anyone could have expected. If you thought reality TV couldn't get any more chaotic, think again. This is no ordinary behind-the-scenes story. This is a full-blown scandal, and it's only getting bigger with every passing minute. Let me tell you, this isn't just about a few cast members clashing. This is a major shift in the reality TV world, and it involves some of the biggest names in the business. Carlos King, who has shaped the direction of Love and Marriage, Huntsville since its inception, has suddenly found himself at the center of a storm that he may not be able to weather. But the real twist here? Melody Shari, the queen bee of Huntsville and one of the show's leading stars, has just dropped a bombshell. She took to her TikTok live, and in front of thousands of viewers, she accused Carlos of being an example of toxic leadership and said he's torn apart everything he built on the show. And trust me, you won't believe the full extent of the accusations she's throwing his way. Melody didn't hold back. She went live and laid out everything she's been quietly dealing with behind the scenes, calling out the show's executive producer for his manipulative practices, poor leadership, and the toxic environment that, according to her, he's created for everyone involved. What started as a critique of Carlos quickly turned into a full-blown public confrontation. This is no longer just a drama-filled reality show. It's a battle for truth, and Melody is no longer playing by Carlos's rules. Her accusations have left fans stunned, and now the question is, what's going to happen next? This moment has the potential to shake up everything we thought we knew about reality television, the behind-the-scenes power dynamics, and the relationships that we've seen unfold on Love and Marriage, Huntsville for years. As Melody's accusations ripple across the internet, the future of the show, Carlos King's career, and the cast's relationships are all up in the air. If you thought this was just another drama moment, you're in for a rude awakening. The drama is just beginning, and this one is going to get even bigger. So, how did we get here? Well, to understand what's going on now, we need to take a step back and look at the history between Carlos King and Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Carlos King isn't just the producer, he's the mastermind behind the entire show. He's been at the heart of the series since the very beginning, shaping its direction and influencing the drama that kept fans coming back season after season. His strategic vision has been key in creating a world where the personal and professional lives of the cast intertwine, blurring the lines between reality and entertainment. From the very first season, Carlos knew exactly what the audience wanted: drama, tension, and high-stakes personal conflicts. One of the most explosive storylines was the tumultuous marriage between Melody Shari and Martel Holt. Their messy split, full of infidelity, lies, and emotional turmoil, quickly became the backbone of the show. It was raw, real, and entirely captivating. Audiences tuned in every week to watch the fallout from their marriage, and the show's success skyrocketed as Melody and Martel's story evolved. It was a storyline that Carlos King knew would keep viewers on the edge of their seats, and it worked. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Now, the tables have flipped. Melody, who was once one of Carlos's most loyal stars and one of the driving forces of the show, has turned on him. It's clear that their once close relationship has soured. Melody has now publicly accused Carlos of being a toxic leader, criticizing his handling of the show, and calling out what she perceives as his manipulative behavior. What used to be a professional partnership based on trust and mutual respect is now a public dispute. This is where it gets interesting. Why would Melody, after years of working with Carlos and being one of the central figures of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, decide to call him out now? What's happened behind the scenes that has caused this breakdown? Melody has always been a strong and independent figure, but there's more to the story than meets the eye. Is this just a moment of frustration from a cast member who feels underappreciated, or is there something much deeper happening here? What has Carlos done, or failed to do, that has pushed Melody to speak out against him after so much time working together? The big question now is, what led to this turning point? And as Melody's accusations continue to surface, viewers are left wondering, what happened behind closed doors that no one knew about? The unfolding drama is more than just about the show. It's about broken relationships, shattered trust, and a reality TV empire that may be on the brink of crumbling. The tension between them is only the beginning, and the fallout promises to be even more explosive. Here's what really went down. The drama that has been brewing behind the scenes of Love and Marriage. Huntsville finally came to light in the most unexpected way. Melody Shari, a central figure of the show and one of its most outspoken stars, took to her TikTok live to share a shocking revelation that would change the way fans view not just her, but the entire production of the show. Melody didn't hold back. In a candid and raw live session, she called out none other than Carlos King, the mastermind behind Love and Marriage. Huntsville, accusing him of being a toxic leader who has failed to manage the show in a way that serves the cast and instead only benefits the ratings and drama. For years, Carlos had been seen as the producer who knew exactly what buttons to push to create drama, who could turn even the most private moments of the cast into captivating television. But Melody's accusations paint a very different picture of the man behind the scenes. She didn't just vaguely criticize him, she laid out specific issues she's faced working with him over the years. According to Melody, Carlos's leadership style is fundamentally flawed, and it's not just a matter of creative differences, it's about how he runs the entire show and the negative impact it's had on everyone involved. Melody shared that the toxic environment on set wasn't just confined to the cast's personal conflicts, it extended to the very way the show is produced and managed. She described the behind-the-scenes atmosphere as something that only fueled the public spectacle of the cast's personal lives rather than respecting their boundaries and privacy. Instead of supporting the cast, Melody says that Carlos used them as pawns in a game to maximize ratings, manipulate situations, and stir up drama to keep viewers glued to their screens. According to Melody, it's no longer about telling authentic stories. It's about creating chaos for the sake of entertainment. She expressed her frustrations about how Carlos seemingly prioritized the public spectacle over the well-being of the cast. What was supposed to be a professional production became a toxic environment where relationships were manipulated and exploited to create high-stakes drama. But it doesn't stop there. Melody didn't just stop at criticizing Carlos for his leadership. She went even deeper. She revealed that the way the show has been managed has had a direct impact on the relationships between the cast members. In her TikTok Live, she shared how the tensions between cast members were, in part, stoked by the production team. She hinted that Carlos and the crew orchestrated situations where cast members were put into uncomfortable or volatile situations, pushing their personal issues to the forefront for the sake of ratings. Melody even alluded to how the production team sometimes manipulated situations to fuel existing conflicts and create storylines that were designed to keep viewers hooked, even if it meant pushing cast members past their breaking points. What's even crazier, these weren't just vague accusations or general frustrations. Melody came prepared, dropping specific details and personal experiences about the ways in which Carlos and the production team worked behind closed doors to stir up the drama that played out on screen. She spoke about how certain events were strategically timed, how conflicts were exaggerated, and how personal issues were sometimes manufactured for the sake of the show's narrative. She went as far as to suggest that the show's producers have a hand in shaping the cast's conflicts, making them seem bigger or more dramatic than they actually were, just to boost viewership and ratings. One of the most jaw-dropping moments in Melody's live session was when she spoke about the manipulation tactics used to pit cast members against each other. She described how certain cast members were encouraged to react in specific ways, even if it meant stirring up personal pain or emotional trauma for the sake of a good storyline. In this environment, Melody revealed that it wasn't just about creating content, it was about creating chaos that would sell. The cast, she implied, was no longer in control of their own narratives. Instead, they were caught in a cycle of manufactured drama that was carefully crafted by Carlos and the production team, and as a result, personal relationships were suffering. Melody's live session was an eye-opener for many of her fans, as they began to understand the darker side of reality television. For years, they had watched the drama unfold, believing that what they were seeing was just a reflection of the cast's real lives. But Melody's words have cast doubt on the authenticity of the show. What was once thought to be a raw depiction of reality has now been revealed to be something much darker, a carefully curated spectacle driven by the desire to keep audiences glued to their screens. By the end of her TikTok Live, Melody had made it clear that the situation with Carlos King had escalated beyond the point of no return. Her frustration was palpable, and it was clear that this wasn't just a moment of bitterness. This was a long-standing issue that she had finally decided to speak out about. She felt betrayed, not just as a cast member, but as a person who had put her trust in Carlos, only to see him manipulate her and her fellow cast members for the sake of the show's success. It's no longer just about the show, it's about the price of fame and how the cast has been exploited in the process. Melody's accusations have changed the entire narrative surrounding love and marriage. Huntsville, what was once a show about love, betrayal, and family dynamics is now a story about power, manipulation, and the harsh realities of the reality TV industry. What's next? How will Carlos respond to these explosive claims? Will the cast, fans, and other industry professionals rally behind Melody, or will they side with Carlos? The truth is, the drama has just begun, and the aftermath of Melody's explosive revelations could alter the future of reality TV as we know it. The internet is going wild. The moment Shari went live on TikTok and called out Carlos King for his toxic leadership, the entire world of love and marriage, Huntsville was thrown into chaos. Fans, castmates, and industry insiders alike have all been reacting to the bombshell accusations, and the internet is ablaze with divided opinions. On one side, Melody's supporters are rallying behind her in full force. Many fans have long suspected that the show's production had a darker side, and now they feel vindicated as Melody bravely took the stand and exposed what had been happening behind the scenes. These fans are applauding her courage, saying it's about time someone stood up and called out Carlos's shady tactics. Melody's criticisms of his leadership resonate with many who believe the cast members deserve to be treated with more respect and dignity. The fans who support Melody view her as a hero in this situation, someone who was able to find the strength to speak out against what they're now calling a toxic work environment created by Carlos. They see it as a bold move to expose the manipulation, the emotional blackmail, and the unsustainable practices that have been affecting the cast and crew for years. These supporters are praising Melody not just for her honesty, but for her willingness to be vulnerable in front of millions of fans who have been invested in her life and struggles for years. They're seeing her speak out as an act of self-preservation and empowerment, a move that could change the landscape of reality TV for good. It's no longer just about the show for them, it's about accountability. Melody's fans are now vocal in calling for the industry to examine how producers and showrunners treat their talent and whether the manipulation of personal lives is really worth the entertainment value. But then there's the other side. The fans loyal to Carlos King, who have watched the show thrive under his direction, are not convinced. For them, Carlos is the mastermind who brought Love and Marriage, Huntsville, to life. He created the drama, nurtured the complex dynamics, and made it a hit. These fans argue that Melody's comments come from a place of bitterness or resentment. According to them, it's not that Carlos is a toxic leader, it's that Melody is upset because things aren't going her way anymore. They believe Melody's departure from Carlos' good graces stems from personal conflicts, and they argue that she may just be frustrated because she's no longer the star she once was on the show. For these loyal Carlos supporters, the accusations seem like a personal attack, and they're quick to dismiss Melody's claims. They see Carlos as someone who built the show from the ground up, and they don't think his leadership deserves to be questioned so publicly. To them, Melody's comments are seen as a betrayal, a move that could damage not just Carlos's reputation, but the future of the show itself. They believe that, despite any flaws, Carlos' vision for love and marriage, Huntsville is what made the show successful. So, when someone as high-profile as Melody turns against him, they see it as an unfair attack on everything Carlos has worked for. But here's where it gets interesting. The backlash has been so intense that it's causing a ripple effect throughout the Love and Marriage Huntsville community. It's not just fans who are talking anymore. Castmates and former associates are now starting to weigh in, and it's clear that not everyone is happy with how Carlos runs the show. Some of Melody's co-stars have been quiet until now, but suddenly they're asking themselves the hard questions. Is Carlos really the mastermind we thought he was? Or has his leadership style become a liability for the future of the franchise? Former cast members who've since left the show are also chiming in, and the general sentiment seems to be split. Some are standing with Melody, echoing her concerns about how the production team has treated cast members. They're sharing their own stories of how they felt manipulated or misled during their time on the show, further validating Melody's accusations. Others, however, continue to defend Carlos, arguing that his vision for the show has always been one that blends drama with real-life struggles, and they believe that the show wouldn't have achieved its success without him. But the bigger question now is, what happens next? If this growing backlash continues, will it cause a shift in the dynamics of the show itself? Could Carlos lose control of his creation? Or will he fight back and show why he deserves to stay at the helm? The fallout is becoming increasingly unpredictable, and now even fans who were previously neutral are starting to take sides. As more and more people start to question the true nature of the show, there's a growing sense of unease surrounding the entire production. Is the show really being managed in the best interest of the cast? Or has it all been about the spectacle and ratings from the very beginning? The intense reactions and the backlash aren't just about Melody and Carlos anymore. They're about the future of reality TV and the ethics behind it all. As the debate rages on, viewers are left wondering, can Carlos regain control? Or is this the beginning of the end for Love and Marriage, Huntsville? What makes this story different from all the other reality TV controversies? Well, if you've been following the drama, you know that the entertainment world is no stranger to feuds and behind-the-scenes scandals. Reality TV is full of high-stakes drama, unexpected betrayals, and public explosions of personal lives. But this situation with Melody Shari and Carlos King stands out for one major reason. It's not just another feud, it's deeply personal. Unlike the typical celebrity squabbles we see on TV, this controversy is rooted in real relationships that have been built over years, only to now be torn apart by the very people who helped create the show. Melody and Carlos were more than just business partners, they were once close, with a relationship that seemed built on mutual respect and understanding. That's why it's so shocking that Melody has turned on him, publicly accusing him of toxic leadership. This isn't just about a business dispute, it's about broken trust, manipulative power dynamics, and the fallout from a friendship that has now soured in front of millions. But what really sets this apart is that it's not just the cast members speaking out anymore. For the first time, the production side of the show is coming into the spotlight. The people who are usually behind the scenes, managing the cameras, writing the storylines, and shaping the narrative, are now the ones being questioned. This isn't just about a few stars going head to head. This is about the toxic leadership that can exist in reality TV, where the personal lives of the cast are not only displayed for entertainment, but also manipulated and controlled by the producers and showrunners. The truth is, the stakes in this drama go far beyond hurt feelings or a bruised ego. It's about the power dynamics at play and the morality of using people's emotional struggles as content for a television show. What's even more shocking is that Melody's accusations paint a picture of a system where personal conflicts are deliberately exaggerated, and cast members are encouraged to escalate their issues for the sake of ratings. This isn't just some lighthearted reality show drama. It's about the manipulation of real people who are trying to navigate their lives under the weight of constant public scrutiny. For Melody to now come forward and accuse Carlos of not just exploiting those emotions for entertainment, but also of actively creating chaos behind the scenes, takes this story to a whole new level. This isn't just a story about a falling out between two public figures. It's a story about the impact of reality TV on real lives. It's about the mental and emotional toll that comes with being a part of a production that thrives on conflict, and the consequences of allowing that conflict to spiral out of control. Melody's move to speak out is more than just an accusation. It's an exposé of the dark side of the entertainment industry. She's shining a light on how the manipulation of reality stars isn't just about creating good TV, it's about maintaining power over people's lives for the sake of entertainment. Now, with the eyes of fans, critics, and the industry on them, the stakes are much higher than just a few hurt feelings or damaged relationships. This situation could change the entire future of love and marriage, Huntsville, and potentially alter how reality TV operates in general. If Carlos can't regain control of his relationship with the cast, or if the truth about how the show is being managed continues to unfold, it could change the very fabric of reality television. Will viewers continue to support a show that exploits its stars' personal lives in such an invasive way? Will production companies think twice before using such manipulative tactics? The aftermath of this controversy could alter the future of reality television as we know it, and it could inspire a larger conversation about the ethics behind reality shows and the treatment of the people involved. Ultimately, what makes this story different is that it's no longer just about the drama. It's about the real consequences of how reality TV operates, the emotional manipulation of its stars, and the long-term impact on their lives once the cameras stop rolling. This is a story that will likely continue to evolve as more details emerge. But one thing is for sure, it's making us question the true cost of reality TV fame. But here's the craziest part. This story might not just be about reality TV drama. It's starting to look like legal trouble could be brewing for Carlos King. What seemed like a typical celebrity feud, a clash of egos and frustrations between a producer and his star, is quickly escalating into something much more serious. Melody's scathing comments about Carlos's toxic leadership style may just be the tip of the iceberg. With her accusations gaining traction online, people are starting to wonder, could this go beyond words? Could there be legal action on the horizon? Melody hasn't just called Carlos a bad boss. She's accused him of manipulating cast members, creating a toxic work environment, and potentially putting people's mental health at risk for the sake of ratings. These are serious claims, and they could have serious consequences. What makes this even more complicated is the power dynamic at play. Carlos King is not just a TV producer. He's a media mogul with a significant influence on the show's direction and how it portrays its stars. With Melody, one of the show's leading cast members, going public with these accusations, it's impossible to ignore the legal ramifications of this scandal. The accusations are specific and severe, touching on emotional manipulation, financial control, and even the ethicality of how the cast is handled. If these claims are proven to be true, Carlos could be in serious legal jeopardy. This is no longer just about hurt feelings or an industry feud. It's about breach of contract, potential abuse of power, and the manipulation of personal lives for profit. As the accusations pile up, people are starting to ask, could Carlos face legal action for his role in creating a toxic environment on set? If the claims of manipulation, control, and mistreatment of cast members are investigated further, could the situation escalate into a full-blown legal battle? This could involve lawsuits, potential financial settlements, and a significant public backlash that damages Carlos's career long-term. Melody's public call-out might be the catalyst for something much bigger. While some may see it as just a disgruntled star airing her grievances, others are starting to take her words more seriously. Could this turn into a full-on legal showdown between the cast and the producer? If Melody's accusations gain traction, and if other cast members start speaking out about their own experiences, it's not hard to see how this could evolve into something that involves lawyers, contracts, and potentially even regulatory bodies that oversee how reality TV shows operate. This is where things start to get really interesting. Not only is Carlos' reputation on the line, but the future of love and marriage. Huntsville could be in jeopardy as well. The show's production practices are now being questioned, and the fallout from this could lead to serious legal scrutiny of how the show manipulates and handles its cast members. If Carlos is sued, the reality TV world could see a paradigm shift in how producers and talent are held accountable for their actions. What makes this story even crazier is the potential domino effect. If Carlos King is forced to defend himself legally, it could bring even more shocking details to light about the inner workings of the show. The legal system has a way of pulling back the curtain on everything, and what Melody has accused Carlos of could only be the beginning. There could be other cast members, crew members, and former associates who step forward with their own stories of manipulation, exploitation, or mistreatment, making this a full-blown scandal with legal consequences that extend far beyond what anyone anticipated.